Hello, hello. Cool, what a rush to get here, eh? There's a lot happening in the con today.
Welcome, everybody, to the Cowboys SMP panel. Yay!
Yippee!
We are going to be spending the next hour reminiscing on everything Cowboys related. But starting off, I want to introduce our lovely, lovely panelists. So, Owen, who are you?
Hello, I'm Owen. I play the character of Bunny, and over the next hour, I'm going to try and slip into the accent, but I don't know when it'll happen, because I'm going to have to like slowly bleed in. And everybody else is going to join in, right? We're all going to do the same thing, aren't we?
Sure. No,
yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that. Yeah, that's me.
Hi, I'm Luann. I play Misty. Also known as Lemon-Time on Twitter.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I'm a Shep. I played as Shep, and yeah.
Hi, I'm Pyrocythe. I play Jackie P. Scythe in this incredible SMP.
And I am Abolish, played as Abolish. And I am the one who did all the explosives.
I'm Cherry Fire. And I played a bounty hunter on Cowboys SMP.
Hi, Mappo. I played a thing on Cowboys SMP. What?
The Thing?
I don't know how to explain it. I just played a character.
We'll get to it.
I played a gold-loving character. I am one half of Pow Creations alongside Owen. And before we get into answering some questions, let's take a look back on Cowboys SMP in its best moments.
These guys.
I have the pistol of the word. I'm ready to dispense justice.
Sorry I killed Bunny. Here's the Legos I've been building.
Yes.
Hey. Oh, if I throw you a bone, treat you like that bone, all right?
Yes, please. I'll take all the bones, every bones.
Oh, you go. Fine, Arby.
I got tuberculosis.
Oh no, it's carrying you away. It's carrying you away.
Owen! Owen, help! Help me!
I think it's what they call that thing of like mitosis.
What's wrong with your toes?
No,
You got a sister?
Well, I have other things over my shoulder, so maybe I'm like a little stressed, you know?
Did you just roll at us?
Oh, Yahtzee, 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 Yahtzee. Oh, it doesn't count. Oh.
12, 13,
14, 15.
Man, y'all really dragging this out. Come on now.
Quick question.
Yeah,
Quick question. Do you remember where the mine is?
It's down that way. Oh, okay.
That way? Oh.
Yeah.
I think the saloon's haunted. Yeah. No, I do believe that might be it.
Hey, Grace,
Oh
how you
my
doing?
gosh!
And also the preacher. When you guys talk about the girls and the gays, can you also mention the preacher? That'd be great.
What color should I do my fingernails today, girls?
While they're trying to pet her.
Okay, you won't go. Okay, you know what?
Oh, that's so cute.
That was just one stop on the Uber. Nay.
Oh, you ran over. No!
That's all for today. Thanks, Chef.
Okay.
I guess you can say he got off scot-free. Yeah, you like that one?
You know what? I've been wanting to paint up in my room. Oh, dang it. 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 Dang it.
Knock, 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 knock,
Say
knock,
knock when you knock on a door.
I don't know. It feels.
hear the sound of the knocking. It's okay.
Oh, really?
Welcome. Yes.
Spent 20 gold on these guys. Yeah, look. Hey.
Oh!
Can I speak candidly?
For the love of everything in heaven, Jesus, Dios mío. Por favor, madre de Dios. Yeah, you sure can.
This isn't my real accent.
Now you see me.
No, you don't.
Oh my God! No, wait, what? Cherry? Cherry, where'd you go? Oh God!
Oh, looky here.
You got a cow.
I got a cow.
Oh my goodness! Where'd you find her?
I found him up in them hills over there.
They them hills.
I didn't ask for their pronouns, so I'm just assuming.
It might be she, her hills.
Nice, that sounds good to me. Have a good one.
You too.
That was kind of freaking awesome.
Today we make a deal, you and I. But in return, you must bear my secret.
What is it, preacher?
Mine is a dark one.
Oh, you're a werewolf like everyone says you are.
Oh, that would have been so much cooler.
Imagine.
Wait, is it too late to change my lore?
Okay, this is Bunny when he eats the potato that makes him forget why he does things. I don't know why I did that.
Abolish regret. Before we go, you don't want to incorporate a pink tax around here, right?
I'm gonna be real honest. What's a pink tax?
Shep said something about abolish pink tax, and it scared me because if you take a good long look at me.
Wait, I think if I remember correctly, you can fly with it.
Well, certainly I would never support a church that isn't supporting our here God.
Yes, indeed.
Our lovely, the God. Bunny, great name for a humble miner. You were talking about gathering pickaxes, correct?
Are you fine if I talk to the voices in my head? All right, I don't want to seem too crazy.
Crazy to me, Shep.
Listen, the only type of crazy I am is
Crazy for the women in this town. Am I right or am I right?
I like men.
Oh, my name's Sausage.
I don't like that name. Change it.
All right, is there anything else left?
Look at this bear. We took food. Harry Fire got robbed of her whole establishment.
Oh, establishment? All of the food in the house?
You stole everything? We got all
Wait,
that
we were
food.
good for valuables and you went and took desserts?
Girl, what the hell?
Oh, very
Did
good.
he show you his fan fiction that he's written about you?
However, how many arrows do you have?
Wouldn't you like to know?
You're never gonna be straight with me, are you?
I've never been straight.
Bonita. Mikasa.
Well, howdy. What are you doing? Okay, everyone, are you ready? Because Beck's gonna roll a Yahtzee right now.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, I believe it. I believe.
We're all
Do
ready.
it, Bex.
Bang.
3,
Do it.
3,
Oh,
3,
oh,
3.
That was nearly the coolest thing I've ever seen.
So that was Cowboy's SMP. It only ran for a month long, and yet there were so many clips I had to edit down for that.
I think that might be the most bits per stream for an SMP that we've ever had. It was just constant. Like Pirates and and Rats didn't have that same level of just constant riffing that Cowboys had, and it was only a month long, and we got all of that.
Oh, it was constant.
Sorry?
It was just constant. It was constant bits.
Just constant riffing.
There was never a moment of silence. It was just somebody came up to me and started doing a bit in a southern accent, a bad southern accent.
A good.
Okay, yours was fine. Oh, and yours was good too. Okay, I need to stop talking before I single people out. Anyways, a Q&A with the panelists. Owen, we're going to start with you. Were there any concepts for your character or ideas that you potentially wanted to do that you ended up scrapping?
Yeah, Bunny could have gone bad, I think. I did it. I found it.
Ooh.
I found it. It was there. But Bunny could have gone bad, I think. There was a moment where I was considering, like, maybe he doesn't get a happy ending with Missy and maybe he betrays her. But I couldn't bring myself to do it in the end. So thankfully, he was kind of a good guy, but, like, just barely, very barely. What about you? Yeah, we're going right down the line. Are there any concepts or ideas for your character that you didn't end up running with?
Honestly, I just wanted to roleplay being in love with my husband.
Stop it.
Sue me? No, when I think of characters, I'm usually very pinpoint on what I want, and it was easy for me to know what I wanted to do.
Did you have any concepts, Shep, that you didn't end up running with?
Well, my character wasn't actually going to be a villain. Like, he actually wasn't.
Okay, run us through that.
Yeah, we started out where he wasn't going to be a villain, and then things just happened, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
Yeah, I think with my character, I sort of just didn't really have any plan going into it apart from that I could have been anything in any moment depending on what people needed me to be. So I think in that sort of intro sequence I had made, I had all these different characters in mind, and then I just draw from which of them depending on what I needed to be in any situation at the time.
As for me, the only thing I did possibly think about was when we learned about the bandits, I thought about giving you all gunpowder, and a lot of gunpowder, but I chose not to.
I sort of kind of wanted to do a more like sort of kind character, but I wasn't sure if I'd get the opportunity to do another SMP for POW or like a role play series. So I thought I would do something more interesting and intense.
I was gonna die at one point.
Okay, how so?
You don't need to know.
We do need to know.
No. Well, okay. Let me pivot then. I wanted to join the bandits. I thought that would have been a fun plot point. That never ended up really happening though.
When did you change your mind into not join the bandits?
Before the SMP started.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Apo, how did you come up with the concept of your character, and especially how it tied in quite closely into Cherry's backstory? How did that come?
Gay Yuri. That's just kind of. That was just kind of it. Oh wow. No further response.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah. I watched Paddington 3, and it was.
Did you say Paddington 3?
Yeah. I watched Paddington 3, and the whole like spoilers for Paddington 3 if you're going to watch Paddington 3. The villain is a father who like was obsessed with gold, and his whole family line was obsessed with gold, like the classic like family curse kind of thing. So I wanted to do that with my character. So yeah, I ended up doing that.
Nice. What about you, Che?
Me? What was the question again? I forgot.
How did you come up with the concept of your character?
Has anyone ever listened to the Magnus Archives? I can't say much because this one hasn't finished it yet, but I kind of wanted to go with something a little scary. I don't know if I hit it, but that was the idea where I drew from.
You were scary.
Thank you.
What about you, Abolish?
If any of you know Reggie from Pirates, I was the voice. And so as my first POW SMP, I thought actually taking that concept of a shipwright with gunpowder, explosives, but turn them into an actual playable cast member.
Nice, cool. Pyro, what about you?
Yeah, so since it was my first POW project and I didn't know if I was going to be in any other ones, I was like, I want to be the problem here. And I just wanted to make a character that could get into as many situations as possible, because I think situations are the best thing for plot. So I looked at like one of my favorite characters ever who gets into situations, and that's Saul Goodman. And I was like, what about a Western Saul Goodman? And I went with that. And that was what I went with.
For me, ultimately, like, I took a lot of inspiration from Red Dead Redemption, which kind of an obvious thing to pick. But then I also kind of harped on the concept from how I got my Pirates character. And I looked up what Pop-Tart character they used, because they had a Pop-Tart dressed up as a pirate. So I found one dressed up as a cowboy and incorporated that into my design.
Wow. You could have not paid me to guess that. I wouldn't have had any chance of doing that. That's amazing.
For me, it wasn't really based around any specific characters. I mostly wanted to pick a character dynamic that, to me, was going to be the easiest to play, especially for playing with so many new people that I've never gotten the chance to before. I wanted to be able to easily speak to them. But for our characters, I actually made a mood board of all the different characters inspired by our character dynamics. The main one was Haruhi and Mori from Ouran High School Host Club, if any of you have seen that.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that was their main inspiration for their dynamic.
That was a fun one. I forgot about that. Bunny came from a twisting of a character from a series called, I believe it's Godless. If you haven't, it's an incredible Western. You should absolutely go check it out. But you'll see a lot of the kind of ties in from that series into it. Ex-bandit wanting to kind of put it behind him, but ultimately his past kind of re-coming up, and specifically due to a father figure that like won't let him go, which there was a lot of differences, but a lot of similarities, which we'll break into in a little bit as well. Apo, do you want to jump in on the next one?
Right. So there was a lot of moments in this SMP, as we just saw. Oh, and what was your favorite scripted or unscripted moment in the SMP?
I think it's got to be the fight that happened with Billy and the kids in the like down underneath in the reservoir, whatever you call it. There was just like you could cut the tension with a knife, and it was I kind of had a little bit of foresight knowing that something was going to happen with the other three bandits. So I could like hear their negotiating while Shep was being like, do you guys want to do it up here or should we go downstairs? And Sausage is like, I like to go downstairs. And I'm like, what are we talking about? What's happening, everybody? But the shootout that occurred from there was like one of my favorite action moments. So that was a good part. What about you?
I think my favorite moment, both of my favorite moments happen to be when I was with Bex, but my favorite unscripted one was when I accidentally killed the beast before Bex did. I didn't want to die by it, but I just had to punch it. I wasn't going to let myself go out like that, but fortunately managed to get Bex her dude win, either way.
By just spawning in another Ravager and then,
Yeah.
and then getting it down to 1 heart. You chased it and then just tapped it on the back and it just, and it was like, oh, what do we do now?
Yeah, my bad.
That's all right.
I wanted to use that one, but I don't want to use that one. So I'm going to hop to the next best thing, and that was taunting those two in a hole.
I completely missed this. What happened?
Well, pretty much. It was planned. I just knew that you guys were going to end up in a hole, and I just pretty much came by and just taunted you guys for
Taunted us and
a
ran
few
away.
minutes. Just being like, well, you guys are stuck in a hole, and I'm not, so.
You were there for like 2 minutes.
Whatever.
You just yelled at us about being in a hole, and that was it.
Yeah, it was fun, though.
What about you, Pyro?
I think my favorite moment had to be, I think it was after all of the conundrums had happened and like Jackie P was at like, he couldn't weasel his way out anymore. Going back into my office and then having a knock on the door and Scott comes in and the Nafi comes in and somebody else came in as well and just getting arrested in front of the whole town, getting marched across into jail where I had to spend an unfortunate amount of time with Sausage.
What about you, Abolish?
I keep bouncing back and forth between two. One, the origin of Yahtzee within the server. But the second one that's probably my favorite personally was when we were hunting down Sausage and these two corner him. Jack's watching them. I see Jack and I sneak up on Jack and it's the funniest reaction that I get out of him.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was I was watching them from maybe about 20 blocks away, thinking I was so slick in this tree, and then I'm through a telescope because I don't want to zoom or anything. I like sort of come out of the telescope for a second, see you are right.
I was there for a good 5 minutes.
This here,
5
I'm
minutes
like,
I was next to you.
I'm like, we'll just keep watching together.
Yeah, if we just look back and we just started watching and spying with next to each other.
Yeah.
So then semi related, my favorite moment was getting to hunt down Sausage. I really wanted to kill him, so I'm really sad that you told me not to.
I told you not to?
Yeah, you told me not to kill him.
When did I do that?
Girl, I'm the one.
What? Oh, yeah, I did do that. It was for like lore reasons or whatever, though.
Or whatever?
I don't know. My favorite moment was Bingo. I really liked Bingo. Bingo was good.
What was that? I didn't
Talk
catch
to me
it.
about Bingo.
Bingo was awesome. The ones on Fridays, every single Friday. It was
That was so
good.
cool that you put on bingo every single Friday. That was fun.
Bingo was awesome.
Apo, what is, I'm aware not the whole cast are going to be able to answer this one, but what is your character up to now that the SMP is over?
Hunting bandits with Cherry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Getting up to no good?
Getting up to no good. Getting eviler.
Getting eviler?
I'm making her
Eviler.
worse.
Yeah.
Evil burger?
Making me worse.
Okay, fair. Cherry, same?
Yeah, so they're related. The two stories are related. So yeah.
That's cool.
I'm making her worse.
Nice. Abolish. What is the pyrotechnic up to?
I would say Cowboy Abolish is living a very profitable gunpowder business right now.
Who knew that hot air balloons were such a thriving space for gunpowder?
Yeah.
Can I just say real fast? You were placing TNT in holes once the SMP was over.
Yeah.
All the members were watching that from a Discord call while you were blowing up the map with the TNT you made.
Yeah, fun fact, a full double chest of TNT does not crash the server.
Doesn't?
No, I tried.
Shout out to No Name for hosting us on this.
Yeah, great server hosting.
What about you, Pyro?
Rotting, getting his eyes picked out by buzzards.
Whoa.
He's still in the field. Unless maybe Grace dragged him back. He's still there, a skeleton by this point. Maybe less.
Dang.
Coyote's got him or something, I don't know.
Shep?
Dead. Ash. Nothing.
At least I got your note that you chucked for me at the very last second and it didn't burn up to a crisp. That was a sad moment. I saw you throw it and it just disintegrate in the wind. I was like, well, there goes that lore. That's never being found.
It was so funny because I just thought you got it and I was like, well, whatever. Guess you don't.
What about Missy?
Well, I think Missy and Bunny are probably going to her grandparents in Armadillo Spring, something.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name.
I think it's open-ended as to whether or not Bunny has managed to evade his past successfully. Just because he's not wanted by Scott doesn't mean that there aren't other sheriffs that are on his back.
I think Missy is also trying to figure out that she actually got proposed to. Because I don't think she ever truly realized that.
Yeah, that's fair. That took me by surprise. I wasn't planning to do that, by the way, and then one of the little narpies threw a diamond at me, and I was like, well, yes, and I suppose. I'm getting married in Minecraft. This feels like a really cool thing to do. We're going to crack into some individual questions.
Individual questions. I have one for you, Owen. Where did the concept of Billy and the Kids come from?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, as I mentioned, Billy and the Kids came from Godless. Specifically, Billy came from one of the main antagonists of the Godless series. I really want to just paint him as this terrifying cowboy whose legend precedes him. And because he's constantly surrounded by bandits who essentially see him as a father figure, you just can't touch him. And if you did, you'd be in trouble. I was very lucky and fortunate, and I'm very grateful that a lot of the SMP cast members that I went to basically being like, hey, you know how you want to be a bad guy? Do you want to be a bad guy with me and actually tie into this massive plot that I'm trying to string together? You guys all said yes and just ran with it. That was really fortunate. Otherwise, it was going to be really difficult to have that pressure on the story of Billy and the Kids if it was just Billy and the one kid and he's actually kind of an okay guy. So having that found family dynamic with Sausage and Shep and Martin made the whole experience just so much better. So I'm really glad that you guys followed through with that one. Yeah. Oh, so I got to ask Luann, actually, I have your question for you. How did you capitalize off of a shorter SMP length for Cowboy specifically? Because it was only 1 month as opposed to 3 to 6 that we usually do.
Yeah, so I had the fun idea to basically give my character a off-stream journal. So I did that through Notion. And basically, anytime I had a big moment or interaction with a character, I would go in there and update how Missy felt about the individuals. And also just make little bullet points for people in case they couldn't catch my stream and make sure they were caught up with my character lore before the next stream. So that's how I capitalized on the 1 month.
So a lot of outside stuff, given that the SMP was so short, you did other things that weren't Twitch related.
It was completely just me writing in my free time and posting it on that Notion board.
Nice.
That I was able to capitalize.
Nice. Apple, do you want to take the next one?
Shep, did you intend for your guy to be a villain?
He actually wasn't. It was just kind of throughout the SMP where more and more things just kind of happened, where it's oh, my character wasn't going to go in. It was kind of similar situation where it was he was a bandit, but then, oh, he doesn't really want to be one. But then it's oh, reputation precedes him. Everyone kept talking about it. And then so on. Oh, this happened? We'll go with it. Go with the flow. And then pretty much ended up at that character.
So the myth kind of like made the monster in a way.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of sad, really, when you think about it, because it could have been really redeemed, but we all just talked about how dreadful you were all the time, and then that just resulted in your character being this villain.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it turned out.
I think it was needed, though. Like, it was great to have a main antagonist like that, like someone that could point to, because there was a lot of like moral ambiguity. Like Pyro, obviously, your character was wrought with moral grayness. How did you feel about like this is just off the cuff, but like how did you walk that line of knowing when to kind of be a good guy and when to sort of like put pressure onto the conflict?
I think the line was. I mean, it was difficult because I didn't want to like impose my story on anyone else's, really. But I found a way to just do it so that I could be an accessory to anyone else's story in the best way that I could be. Because like everybody needs a lawyer. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
You rocked up in a lot of places. Well, like,
yeah.
I would tunnel into somewhere and you'd just be there like a little gopher, just like staring.
Well, you were going over favorite moments before, and I was also going to say your moment because I was there in the walls listening to the gunfire, the blaster fire.
I am in your walls. I am in your walls.
Yeah, I was in the walls. I'm always there.
It seemed like you wanted to get in trouble a lot of the time. Why did you put your character through that trouble? Like, was there a driving force behind that?
Yeah, well, it's like, I thought since it's only a 6-week thing, I want to provide as much on-screen development as possible. But I also didn't really know many, I knew a fair few of the people, but in order to really get through to the people that I didn't quite know, I was like, I want to be a character that can, cause conflict and issues for anyone possible. And I also thought it was just really fun. I mean, every stream on it was content. Just issues were great.
Nice. There is a character that we haven't spoken about much so far, which is the little green Narpy guy, who went home, sadly. He flew off into the... show of hands here, who bought a Narpy plushie? There's a few of you. Okay, they're still being produced. Hopefully they'll get shipped sometime soon. But someone who had a lot of time spent with the Narpies, probably the most out of everybody, was you, Abolish.
Yeah.
How? Because every time there was a development, you'd be like, oh, the Narpies are wanting to say this. And we're all like, how do you know?
So it started playing hide and go seek in Appo and Cherry's house.
You and the Narpies?
Yeah, me and the Narpies. And so what happened was the only way we can talk to them is by playing charades, basically. They have a few emotes that are like shrug, nodding up and down, jumping. They can't speak. So charades is like the best thing that we can do. And they wanted a book to write in because they were like pointing to a book. I'm like, okay, I get them a book and quill, and then they give it back to me signed. It's in Intergalactic, the Enchantment Minecraft text. And so I thought, oh, this is lore. This is actually like pushing the narrative forward. So an entire stream after, I decoded it with them by getting them books, them pointing to a tree, and then the word is tree, and I would then cipher it back into English, and then so I had this entire decoding description. Turns out, the book was just they were hungry wanting apples. But at that point, I already had like everything they were wanting, so whenever someone gave them a book, they would write in it, and then they would somehow toss it to me, and then I would just go to the crash site.
So you didn't like just use the online intergalactic translator that's available. You like specifically went through.
Yeah, no, I went through because I'm like, it's only fair. It's only fair, and that's how I ended up building a massive copper tower for the Narpies by myself.
Yeah, which just kind of just kept getting built session per session. We're all like trying to kill each other in the SMP, and you're like, I have built a tower for the Narpies, and they want more apples.
Yeah, that was interesting because they took a lot of Jack stuff.
They robbed me at a house and home, which I kind of deserved in the end, but it is what it is.
And ended up just them building a tower, and it ended up with a charades where I don't know what happened. I just was like, do you want to go to your mothership? Just randomly throwing it out there, and then they started freaking out, jumping, and I'm like, you want to go to the sky? And they're like nodding their head yes. I'm like, okay, we got to build some tower or whatnot, and that's just how it happened.
Nice.
Cherry, with the SMP only being a month long, is there anything that you wanted to do with your character that you just couldn't?
I wanted to kill Apokuna.
Okay, right.
I didn't get to, though. We figured, like, partway through, the SMP is too short to do any sort of, like, betrayal or, like, really heavy angst like that, so we just sort of kept going with it.
It didn't feel like it had like enough build up to it.
There wasn't enough build-up. There wasn't enough time to do that.
Right. Exactly.
Did you say? Sorry, you said you wanted to kill Apo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get your guys'. I don't know.
wanted to kill
those
her.
two characters' relationships. I don't understand. Like at some point, I thought they're best friends. Then you're like, I want to kill them, and I'm like, why?
I wanted to kill her so bad.
You want to explain how you're gonna do it?
No.
Why not? Okay.
I have to keep you on your toes.
Apo, is there anything that Cowboys taught you that you think has made you a better role player in the long run?
Yeah, I think it's taught me how to pace a story better because, like, as Cherry mentioned, we didn't have enough time to do like the whole like murder plot line. So with previous SMPs, Outsiders being like a year long, and then Pirates being 6 months long, and then Frats 1 and 2 being like 2 to 4 months long, there's always been like enough time or too much time at some points to where we can get a proper storyline going. But with this, like, you have to be very, very like swift about every single beat you want to hit, especially when you're doing storytelling that has like a bit more of like a narrative arc to it. So that's probably what I learned most, is when you're doing a shorter term project, you have to be really quick with it, or else it'll get in front of you real fast.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you want to segue us into our next segment, which involves you
the
guys?
next segment is the Q&A. So if anybody else...
There's some mics there and there. Obviously, I know it's scary to stand up and be the first one, but we do have about 25 minutes. If you do have a question, feel free to run up or gently walk up, and there's no running. And just slide on in and ask us a question. Could be directed to anybody. We will ask if you do have a question, but if we are going to do a group one, we'll probably give real quick answers. If you give it to someone specific, they can give you a little bit of a longer one. So why start here? Yeah.
I don't know if we want to start with that one. We can move on. It's fine. No, okay, fine. Answer your question.
Hi. So my question is open to anyone that has an answer, but when you're doing like a role play, sort of like playing a character in an SMP, what's something that like any sort of advice you have, or something that maybe you didn't initially consider when you were going into something like that?
I think it's always a good idea when you're making a character, and we talk about this in a podcast that's actually coming out on the Patreon, to like find where the conflict and the faults of that character lie. You'll have a much more interesting character if they're not perfect. If you know you're doing a good job when Twitter is basically being like, I can't stand this character, they're so flawed. And it's like, good, that creates conflict. So I found just trying to find like, are they paranoid? Are they naive? Are they arrogant? And like trying to attribute those hooks onto them. Does anyone else have anything?
This was my first time doing role play, so it was a new experience for me. And my recommendation for anybody would be just try and find a concept, if it's your first time, one that resonates with you as a person. Missy was super easy for me to do because she was just a really like silly but like naive, aloof character. So trying to find someone that you can resonate with a little bit would probably help you get a little kickstart.
I can just give one piece of advice. If you're doing a character, whether scripted, unscripted, always expect something to go wrong or something you weren't expecting to happen. In Cowboys, there were multiple things that probably every one of us experienced where we were like, oh, you're here. Well, you're here with us now. We got to kind of work around it and just play with it. And honestly, it makes it a lot more fun when that happens. So,
do you want to go over here? Go for it.
Sorry, I'm a tad bit nervous. When setting up a roleplay like this, how do you find enough people who are interested, and how do you keep them interested throughout the entirety of the story?
Communication is very important. You communicate with your cast constantly. I mean, they're all your friends, but they're also your coworkers and stuff. And if they're not constantly like being reminded of things, things tend to slip over time. And if one person slips up, another person slips up, and another person slips up. So being very communicative with everybody is just very, very important. And in terms of finding people, it just kind of comes naturally. Like, you don't need to have like a cast of 30 people or whatever just to fill some sort of slot. Just do it with like one person. And if it makes you happy, it makes you happy.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a minimum to do any kind of like role playing. I do think that we've seen how applications publicly can go, and sometimes, maybe in a past era, it worked really well. We've actually spoken about that at length at some of the other podcasts that we've done. But essentially just getting people that you can rely on to like follow through with the story, and then like Appa said, communicating throughout the entirety of it. Even if the project is going like really well, like Vampires is going really well, we don't like let up on the gas. We're constantly checking in with the cast and being like, looks like you're having so much fun, but is there anything that we can do to make it better? Will help kind of, because as like owners, I think it's easy to feel like you're kind of aloof and backed off of it. So like getting in the weeds with it with the cast is a great idea. So, yeah.
Howdy.
Howdy.
So you all talked about the different inspiration that you had with each of your characters, whether it's like what your character based on or different things like that. What I wanted to know was, when doing a Southern accent, especially for people who don't have an American accent, were there any characters specifically that you took inspiration from, or any movies that you like heard and were just constantly practicing? Pyro and specifically, I was very impressed with your accent during the whole show.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think, definitely when going to do accents, I played Red Dead for about 3 weeks straight before doing the project. And the best part is Arthur Morgan just speaks to himself constantly. But I didn't go for that kind of accent. I went for like a really, really different one, as I'm sure you guys probably heard. But yeah, I sort of went for I just listened to a lot of like, southerny kind of people speak for like ages. And then it was like, that's it. Like, I just repeated what they said again and again and again, and somehow it worked. Or didn't, depending on
what's in your hues.
Well, like, just like, really, just, I don't know how I did that for a month. I was because I would do it, and then I'd go to bed, like, 10 minutes after, like, ending stream, so I'd dream in that accent. It would be diabolical. It'd be so nuts.
Mine wasn't very good, so I won't answer the question. It was just, yeah.
Hi. This one's for Owen and Appo. How did the idea of a shorter SMP come to be, and how did you adjust the overarching story of Cowboys to, I guess, accommodate it?
Well, I mean, originally Cowboys was supposed to be like a 2-day project. It was supposed to be like a one-shot with more spooky elements, is all I'll say. And then we kind of realized that 2 days just wasn't going to be enough. And
a lot of work for 2 days.
Yeah, a lot of work for 2 days. So we kind of expanded the scope out to a month just to make the work a little bit more worth it.
I think there was also an element of like, we'd done a year, we'd done 6 months, we'd done 2 months-ish, we'd done 4 months-ish. It was like, what will happen? Like, what will this look like if we just try and condense it down into one? And the answer is, well, cool week goes fast. That was real quick. I don't regret it, but it definitely was very intense. And the amount of stuff that we're picking up every time we do an SMP at a different length, it's like, okay, that's what happens when we do one that's only 4 weeks long. And to change it, we essentially just had to always be on the gas. Usually, like with Pirates, there's like a little bit of a lull in the middle where you can kind of take a step back and be like, just let them enjoy the like mods and everything. Couldn't do it with Cowboys because you had to get that like next story beat in, which made for really like nice condensed space.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because, like, I guess like Vampires is also technically like a month-long-ish project, 2-month-long project, but I feel like it's in the same vein. But it's so different from like YouTube-based and then live stream, like Twitch-based and stuff. So I don't know if we'll do another 1-month-long Twitch project. Owen's looking at me and he's like,
maybe.
It depends. It depends if the project suits it properly, but. In terms of like another Cowboys, that was a lot.
Go ahead.
Howdy, fellers. I was wondering
Wow.
how y'all settled on those little green critters. Out of anything that you could have added to your funny little project, like why those funny little green guys?
Ooh.
That was very good. Very
that
good.
was really good.
There's a really interesting moment, an opportunity here, Appa, where we talk about what Cowboys was going to be before it turned cute.
Oh, okay. Should we just leak it here?
I think we should say it.
Yeah, why not? So Cowboys was originally going to be Cowboys versus Aliens, in a very like, if you've seen the movie Alien, like kind of like chase down humans and brah on them. I don't know why I made that sound effect, but it was originally going to be a 2-day SMP thing where somebody would get picked off one by one, and eventually it was going to be like a final girl situation.
It was going to be horror, right?
It was going to be a horror, basically. It was going to be a horror SMP. I think like map vibes. Picturing in my head like very foresty, like Gravity Falls in a sense, which would have been really cool. But then we realized that's not kind of like what we wanted to do anymore, but we still wanted the alien concept, but spooky, scary aliens wouldn't work. So we did Narpy, and I think you guys were also kind of like hyper fixating over the little green cat things that were just
the little
everywhere
green
on the
glorp.
internet. Yeah, so like I guess combining those two things of like, oh, you still want to do like some kind of alien thing, and then also green cat thing, put those two things together, you get a Narpy.
I think we also we'd learned so much from Cruppy that it was like, what if we did this again, but like even more?
Better.
We'll get the emotes and we'll make a bunch of abilities for the little critter to be able to do, and so that the actors that are being the character, so they don't have to worry about like taking turns. We'll have like this little duplication thing where you just have like 50 of them just like running around, and it was really fun. But we're not going to do another marketable plushie little guy again. That's it. Unless you got no. It was just like a nice hurrah because Cruppy went so well. It was like, what if we did it again, but like more?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Do we have another question?
Another one?
Howdy there.
Howdy.
So this question's for all of you. Obviously, as you guys mentioned, Narpy, and obviously with like rats we had the magical squid, and like with pirates we had Cruppy. But like with cowboys, obviously we all love Narpy, and I'm actually curious, what is one thing that you all love about Narpy?
Take it away, Missy.
I mean, that's my baby. Like, I'm tend to be the like concept artist for POW, and while my design wasn't the final for Narpy, that is in essence my baby, and was also kind of inspired by our little alien son Klepto.
You guys know the IKEA alien, which it's not based on it for like legal reasons. The little like green IKEA alien that's like that big. We kind of tried to model him around that. I think there was like some elements that we took.
Definitely. Yeah, he's just my baby. That's my actual son.
Biological son.
My favorite part was when the Narpies started chasing my dog around. I would start walking around and I just look behind me and there's a trail of little tiny Narpies trying to pet her.
I think I like the first day when we met the Narpies where it was like such a weird foreign creature, especially to like Cherry and I. And then we gave it apples, and that became like a whole centerpiece of the SMP where it just really liked apples for some reason. I think it was called like Appy at one point. That didn't really stick too much. But like Narpies with apples was just like such a like iconic pairing, and I absolutely adored that.
I'm really glad that you did that, like, because it just came out of nowhere. It wasn't
Threw food
any
at
of
it?
the original thing. Sorry?
Threw food at it?
What?
You're glad that we just threw some food at it?
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to
I'm
give
glad
it a
that it
gift.
stuck to the apples.
A gift.
What about you guys? Do you have a favorite moment favorite thing about Narpy?
Not specifically Narpy, but the player model. The fact that it wasn't consistent sometimes, so you would have some very funny moments, like when you gave the Narpies the bandanas, and then the first time they got on a horse, the bandana started just going very, very wonky on the model.
I liked whenever the model didn't load in for someone, and they'd walk in and there was just this weird green thing, because we had to get the actors to change into like a kind of Narpy skin. It was like, oh, what is that? And it's like, oh, it's Narpy. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, well, it was definitely probably from like halfway through the SMP towards the end. But I'd always get on and go live about 2 hours before the rest of the cast got on, just because it was just my time zone. And the Narps would also get on, and there'd be about 2 of them playing Yahtzee with me for about an hour, and it would be good at killing time. It was really great.
I just liked having them just show up, because I'll just play in the middle of the night for like anyone in the UK, and I'll just be like, oh man, no one else is on, and then I'll just have 3 of them just show up, and I'm like, oh, hi guys, and then I just loved them for that.
I like that they didn't have any sense of like what was good or bad. So for you, that you were just a guy to them.
Yeah, I taught them to throw rocks through windows. That was a good one.
Go ahead. Yes. Do you have a question?
I was raised in Texas, But I just wanted to know your guys' initial reaction when y'all realized you had to, when you were like, okay, we have to do a Southern accent for this. What was your guys? Was your like, ooh, this will be fun, or oh no?
Well,
Oh.
I was going to say that doing an accent wasn't required. Like, we were told, like, you can just speak normally if you want. But for me specifically, everyone started talking in accents, and I was like, oh, I feel left out now. And so it just sort of developed as the SMP went on.
Yeah, I just kind of spent enough time with Cherry. I originally was going to do an accent, and then she just kept on, not even like on Cowboys. It would transfer whenever we'd like just call in general as well.
It infested. We'd do meetings for the SMP, and people would just be in character talking.
It was fun.
It's impossible. Like worms.
It went for like weeks afterwards. There was like a period of time where you had to like wean off the accent. It was insane. So yeah, eventually then I started doing an accent as well, just for like specific words and stuff though.
There were phrases too that brought it out.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It was great for me. I am a Southern American, so the accent came naturally. I just had to slip in, so that was pretty easy.
I think I learned from you.
You did.
I just kept hearing you speak, and I was like, okay.
I think as well, Apo, I had like basically had you send me voice notes, and I'd be like,
Oh my
just
God.
tweak it, or just need to tweak that bit.
There was a group chat a year ago, because Cowboys was going to be made a year ago, where it was Luann, Shep, and I at 4 a.m. in the morning sending each other voice notes of random phrases in a Southern accent, and Luann would just rate it.
You did not have to out us that bad.
Yeah, like
what?
We were all sleep deprived.
We were all sleep deprived, and it was, I think, one of the best nights of my life. I loved it. It was great.
I'm so glad.
Great question. Thank you. Shall we jump over here?
Hello.
Hello.
My question for you is, what was your favorite moment, either with you or without someone?
Do we have any in the back pocket that immediately jumps out?
A little bit more into the origin of Yahtzee. There was a new book made with the Jack P. Scythe, because how this started was I wake up, and the first thing I do, I would get onto the server just because time zoned. So I enter into the saloon, and it is Becca Amon, Gracie, and Jack P. Scythe, and they're all a little bit hydrated.
Yeah, we had been keeping it respectful in the saloon, as one does in a saloon, and Beck had devised the idea to write a book about the rules of our Twisted Cowboy Yahtzee. And I don't even think I can repeat all of the rules on stage.
The new 7 Deadly Sins.
The 7 Deadly Sins of Yahtzee.
Yeah, let's just say Sloth became Koala. That's how that book was.
One of my favorite moments was when I was running bingo. I had a board that was just the number 69 over and over again. And I made that board because I was really tired, and me and Apo were joking, was like, what if we gave this to Sausage? It would be so funny, but then he didn't show up, and so I just had it in my back pocket, and I totally forgot about it until the second round. I accidentally throw it at Beck, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, she can have it. And she comes down from the balcony screaming bingo when the number 69 gets called.
And it was way too early as well. And I was like, how? What has she done? How has she done this?
It was like really iconic though. I think one of my favorite moments was actually not when the SMP was live streamed. It was like any night where it was like me, Cherry, Abolish, and Shep. We would constantly spend time just like offline the SMP, just yapping and stuff. And I think that was the first time where one of our SMPs was like really played offline as well, which was just really nice. And it just felt like some like late night gaming sessions where we would like fish or like grind materials or whatever we had to do for the SMP. So that was really lovely.
Great question, thank you. Did you have one?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
no, this one's a good one, trust. My favorite moment was when Missy finally got her retribution and was right about the mayor being alive, okay? From day one when he left, Missy was not shut up about him being like, he's still alive, guys, I don't think he's dead.
We had no plans to bring him back.
Yeah.
That was just a last-minute thing when we got Orion Sound to jump back into the mayor's role.
It was really satisfying for me, even outside of character. That was amazing.
Thank you very much for the question. Yes, go ahead.
So there were many moments where you guys were just kind of babysitting Narpi, and obviously Narpi had lots of lore moments, and I'm just curious on which you guys personally preferred, the silly, nonsensical stuff or the more serious side of it.
Ooh, probably the silly stuff, because I guess it circles back to the SMP being a month long. I don't think there's enough time or push from the storytelling aspect to be able to fully I guess enjoy the narrative of Narpi. And I think it was fun at the end. We saw the little the really cool art commission that we had done. I think Hollow? Yeah, Hollow made some really cool art. So that was really cool, exploring how Narpi got back to its family. But there wasn't enough time for all that. So just having Narpi be on for 3 hours and being able to mess around with it and just split into multiple things or ride a dog or something, I don't know. That was really cool. So yeah.
Did anyone else have any silly moments of Narpi that they particularly liked? I liked the moment there was, I think, I liked when the story progressed because of Narpi's silliness. There was a moment when it came up to me and then started seeing that I was gold panning, so then was turning dirt and coal into gold and stuff. And I was like, that's great, but you can't show anybody. And then it just immediately took off running. And I was like, no, you don't get it. I'm sorry, Narpi, come back. And it just felt like a comedy of errors where it saw how happy I was, and it was well, everybody else in town will love seeing this as well, not realizing that would result in a big conflict that happened later on. So I always liked the storytelling from Narpi that was silly. That was my favorite bit. Grand, okay. Shall we go over here? Go ahead.
Sorry. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My question is, would you ever do a Cowboy season 2 or something like Cowboys?
No.
Rats 2 was great.
Huh?
Rats 2 was great. We loved doing a sequel
Rats 2
for
is
Rats.
great.
But it also taught us that we can put a lot more effort into new stories and new characters rather than trying to reuse stuff that we've done already. I think Cowboys had its moment, and I think to do a sequel of it would detract from the importance of the story of that little town in that moment. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
Thank you very much.
Hello.
Hello.
You guys said that you got to meet a lot of new people through this SMP. Was there anyone you didn't get to interact with a lot that you would have loved to do more content with?
Probably, I think, False. I would have liked to hang out with False more. I didn't really get the chance to. Whenever I was online with her, we just never really crossed paths. So that would have been really cool. But I think that's just kind of something that happens in every single SMP where you eventually have one or two people that you don't end up crossing paths with too much. So yeah, I think False would have been really cool to interact with more.
Any of the cast have anyone that they didn't ships passing in the night, never got to interact with as much as they wanted to?
Actually, I really missed out on interacting with Forcey. I know that was someone I was excited to do an SMP with, but our time zones of when we were streaming just never actually lined up. So it was unfortunate, but it's okay.
Ooh, okay, one more. Also Owen, because I feel we started having something in the last few days of the SMP, but I don't think we ever really were able to explore it.
Well, we just never interact with any of our
We
SMPs
just never.
anymore, have we?
What?
We never roleplay in any of our SMPs. We're always just somehow in two different
Yeah,
streams.
I don't get it.
I think we hate each other. I think the audience know.
We had Outsiders SMP where we milked the crap out of Duo, but then every single SMP afterwards, it's like Milo's Murphy Law for us interacting. I don't get it.
Next time, next one, I'll get you.
Next-
Not like that, in a nice, happy way.
Oh,
Not
is that
spear or anything.
Vampires SMP episode 6 spoilers?
No.
What's going on here, huh?
Does anybody else have anybody that they haven't interacted with as much as they would have wanted to?
I would have loved for the mayor to be more occurring, because Ollie is such an entertainer and his voice for that character was so much fun, especially towards the end. him being like, I've been under here for X amount of months, and we're like, how did you survive on orange peels? We're like, okay, Mayor.
Yeah, fair. Okay, we have 2 questions left and a little bit of time, so I think we can do it. Go ahead.
So your characters had a lot of relationships with a lot of other people, but what was your favorite like relationship that your character had that wasn't super prominent to your story? You just had a lot of good side moments together.
Ooh. Well, I guess like. Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
Sorry. I really enjoyed being able to do a lot with Bex. I think our moments were funny, like running over the Narpy, that poor Narpy. And our whole little like mini quest with like the Beast was really fun. So it was really nice being able to interact with her like more personally.
I think for me, Ren. I don't think I had like any story relevance with Ren, but his like whole bit of walking outside of his church and then just being this like weird silent being that would sometimes just collect bones randomly and then just like walk back into his house and disappear was really, really funny to me. And that just provided me a lot of joy.
I really enjoyed messing with 4C.
Ooh, that was good.
Dragging you around was so fun.
I liked filling his house with fish.
Filling his house with fish was so much fun.
Filling his house
It was like
fish was great.
kind of out of character, but
No, that was totally canon.
no, it's definitely
that was
canon
so
and in
canon.
character. Messing with 4C was relevant to the plot.
It actually kind of was, because 4C, I'm going to talk about your character now. You're talking about how like your character didn't like feel respected by our 2 characters, and I think a lot of that came from us 2 just like messing around with you out of character, where we like started picking you up and like filling your house with fish and like changing all the horses' names to Horsey. I'm sorry, man. Love ya.
Okay, I think we have time for one more. Thank you very much. We have time for one more question.
So if you wouldn't mind bringing back your character's accent for this question, how long after the SMP ended did you still randomly talk in your character's accent?
I think about maybe 2 weeks, and sometimes I slip into it when I need to like feel at ease with myself again. I miss Bunny dearly.
Well, let's be real. I just speak like her all the time anyway. So I can't really answer that question properly.
Chip?
For me, we have like a little friend server that we all talk in, and one of us will just slip into it, and then everyone else in the call will just slip into it, and it will be like just you talk, and then you do it once, and then I'll do it, and then Abolish will, and then someone else will, and it will just go on down the line.
Well, I think one of the difficult things for me was I was doing it from the hours of 12 to 4 in the morning. So what I do is I'll be streaming and I'll still be thanking people with welcome in, thank you to coming to the broadcast, and I just couldn't slip it for about 2 weeks.
So the thing for me is that a lot of time afterwards, it would just be a word. But like we start talking about, well, even back there, when we started talking about Blaster, it just automatically triggered my accent once again, and it just started falling right back into place.
Well, I think mine came back at randomly, kind of, for several months.
It still happens.
Still happens sometimes.
It still happens. It's crazy. Sometimes I just say like thank you or something. Like some of my like wordings is a little more southern now, and I don't think that's going to change for a really long time, which is a little concerning, and I should see a vocal specialist about it. So yeah.
Permanent damage to our accents.
I'm like Austin Butler, but for like gay people.
I'm pretty sure like the last time I played Peak, everyone slipped into their accents as well.
Yeah, that was great.
We have about 1 minute now, which gives us just enough time. I got some dice here in a dice tray. We're going to try and roll a Yahtzee together right now. Please, everyone stand up. Here's how this is going to work. We'll take one at a time, throw the dice. We'll make this real quick, staff. Don't worry. We're going to yell it out as we see what it is. And as soon as you don't get it, then you just stop. And there's about a 1 in 200 chance of at least one of us getting it. So we'll see whether or not this goes. We got a 2. That's a 6. All right, I'm
6.
done. I'll take a seat down. Go ahead, Missy.
All right.
3, 2.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, Shep, you got it.
I never got one on the server. I don't know why I would get one now.
Get one now.
2. 4. I was right.
I still didn't get a good one. I only had a prison Yahtzee. 6.
1.
It's not going well. It's not going well.
All right, here I go.
But if it did happen, it would be crazy.
2. 2. 3.
Ah. Go on, Che.
4.
Oh.
2.
That doesn't count. It fell out the dice tray. You got to throw it back in.
I go again?
It's got to be in the dice tray.
5.
Ah, dang it. All right, Apple. Round us off.
6. 5.
Ah.
Not even close.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure. No secret announcement. There's no any kind of anything special. If you want to talk to any of us, we may be around on the outside, or there's another panel happening here sooner with more dice throwing. So,
Yep. Real quick, let's take a picture.
You want to do a group picture real quick?
Quick picture at the stage.
We usually do. Everyone, please stand.
Yep.
If you can, if you're able. If you ain't, then make sure that the people in front of you don't stand. You want to try and do a selfie? What's that? Oh, it's what you got in your hand? Yeah, go ahead.
How are we doing this?
You got to get down in front.
Oh, I'm not good at this.
Crouch if you have to. Yeah, you got to crouch down. And then point it that way as well, Apple, so these people get in as well. Here, pass it down here. One quick one. And then we'll combine them. Ready? There we go. I'll add you in post, don't worry. Thank you, everybody.